Hello and welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a rundown of Dev Diary 91, which has a bunch of new and upcoming content. If you like this video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It does help out, and let's get into it. So they are going on vacation, and so it's the last update before the July break, and so this is going to be the last Dev Diary for a while. They have a few words about the patch update. They're happy about the positive response, but it is still bugged, and so they're hoping to get it out or a bug fix. We're planning on putting this into the 1.3. Notably, the very significant bug is that if you're an overlord and your subject has a revolution and you win the revolution, you annex their territory, which is kind of a big deal. That's the current state of 1.3.5. Excited for 1.3.6 because this is, man, very immersion breaking to watch the spaghetti build up in India as the UK annexes everything. But moving on, there's a ton of big stuff, just a ton of stuff that they are working on, and they're telling us about it. So they are updating Convoy rating in particular, and they are trying to make Convoy rating more impactful on the long-term economic health of your supply network, and they're also trying to make it, defending against raiders also more reliable. As it stands now, if you have a really long trade route to kind of defend, it feels like the raiders don't catch them most of the time, and your column just get sunk, and now they have a shielding effect where admirals with that escort convoys directly reduce the number of convoys sunk during attacks by an amount relative to the fleet's defensive combat effectiveness, further boosted by secondary PMs. So you can reduce the amount of, that is being sunk, and I'm really hoping that this is part of, this is what they're telling us about what's coming in 1.4, and that this is very exciting. I want Navy to be bigger and more robust. They need to fix landings so that the metagame is not double and triple landings and just having a really small navy, and instead having a big powerful navy that controls the seas and this sort of thing. I think would be a lot more, I would be a fan if this kind of changes things, and so this is a good sign. We have good substitution changes, which is kind of just a little bit of a one where they've changed some weights and stuff like this. This is not too big a deal. They do have more demand for oil in the early game, so whaling will be more viable pre any oil PMs. Stuff like this. So subject to independence wars, let's see, you no longer pay taxes to your overlord when you're fighting for independence, which makes a lot of sense. I believe you probably still share a market, but okay. And then Imperialist AI revisions, I was a big fan of this. The AI of colonial powers has, in 1.4, has been made more inclined to go on certain overseas adventures, such as opening Japan's market, big nice, and less inclined to support unrecognized powers against the aggression of fellow imperialists unless they have a strong reason to do so. Super excited about this. Now, hopefully, if you're going after unrecognized powers, Great Britain doesn't shove their finger in your pie like all the time. This always seemed a little bit unrealistic, and so now it's going to be a little bit more of a race to carve up unrecognized powers instead of just randomly having to fight the UK, who's just taking a stance that OEO must not be taken. And so this is kind of 1.4 changes the selected highlights that they are putting in, so we could expect to see this in the near future. Highlights from 1.5 here, which will launch simultaneously in an open beta with 1.4, which is a little bit interesting, but expecting to see a lot more bugginess, this sort of thing. We will have shared fronts, which is super big nice. I'm guessing that this is a lot of spaghetti and difficult coding. I'm expecting this to not work very well. Currently, the front system doesn't work well, but now they will act as a single unified front, reducing the number of fronts to manage in conflicts with many participants. This means, for example, a pre-unification German war will not devolve into dozens or more fronts. Yeah, currently it is unplayable to fight in either Germany or the UK, or not the UK, India, and so this is super nice. Multiple battles is kind of update on this, and this one is super big. Reverse sways. Reverse sways are going to be. I'm so happy that they're putting this inside. Reverse sways and diplomatic plays, unintentional rhyme aside, you don't have to ever apologize for that. But this will allow you to ask for something in order to join a play, which is super, there's a lot of times where you want to help out the AI, but it feels really bad because you're not going to get anything from it, or you just get a stupid obligation, this sort of thing, and reverse sways is going to kind of update that. And so this means that, for example, you can can ask for subjugation. I think this is, yeah, so here we can ask for an obligation, ask for war goals. Obviously, when they have this, it means they don't have art assets. Ask for war goals, ask to become subject, ask for become subject, ask to transfer states, ask for diplomatic pacts. You can ask for all of these stuff. Ask for transfer states is interesting, where maybe you can get states off of the power that you're helping. So that's kind of an interesting one. You can call allies in diplomatic plays. It no longer automatically calls the ally every time, and it costs maneuvers to call the ally, which I think is a nice little update, and yeah, so I think that this is a nice update for this. It also, I assume, means you don't auto-join people's plays as well, which is nice if you don't want to somehow randomly brick your relationship with someone who started a war with your ally, or your ally has started a war with the wrong boyo. So that will be nice. And new sways, including offering or asking for states/subjects and diplomatic deals such as bankrolling or joining your customs union. This is also super nice. It'll be exciting to see how the balance changes here, but this is kind of expected in 1.5, which I'm thinking it's going to be the patch that's supposed to be next spring. I'm not sure exactly, you know, or maybe it's just Q3, Q4, and 1.6 is going to be next spring. If 1.5 is next, what is this, winter? Or no, wait, fall. Yeah, so if 1.5 is supposed to be winter, and then 1.4 is fall, it'll be nice to get this stuff out. But super exciting about this. And here's one that is actually going to change the game quite a bit, and I think make the game pretty interesting, is the local price variation. Goods production / consumption will now always have a local effect no matter how good your market access. This leads to natural synergies, such as having your steel mill in the same place as coal and iron mines, to make it more profitable operations for all three of these buildings than if they are distributed across the nation. On the other hand, having a textile mill in place with cotton plantation but a few pops to buy their luxury goods might be worse than building a textile mill in a major population center. Okay, so what I think that this mechanic is going to do is that the steel mill, even though the goods will be sold cheaper in a particular spot, or the iron mine and coal mines, they will still be effectively bought at the market price. I assume that the sell price for the coal mine and the iron mine, when you're calculating the profitability of the mines themselves, will be at the market price, but the buy orders, when they are bought in a place that has sell orders of coal, will be significantly cheaper. And this will be a new source of, you know, creating efficiency and a way to allow you to do stuff more nuanced in game, which I think is going to be tremendously interesting and fun. Trying to figure out the strategies for this, it's going to greatly affect which provinces are valuable, because I think that every place that can produce cotton and textiles and this sort of stuff is going to become way more valuable, and this sort of thing. Also, obviously, it'll be way more valuable to have coal and iron together, you know, because you can make steel there, than it would be to have them separate. And so this is going to affect things as well, because you create extra efficiency out of nothing, right? So if I have an iron mine and the iron price in my market is 40, and it sells for 30 locally, but I still get paid 40 in the iron mine. This is critical, that the iron mine is still profitable as if it were 40, but it sells at 30 in that province. Then that means the input goods are going to be 25% cheaper for stuff that uses iron in a given province. And so this means that the the balance of anything that's using iron, let's say I'm making iron frame tools, is going to be considerably larger because the inputs are cheaper for that specific place. So this is going to, yeah, it's going to be very interesting, and it's going to definitely shake up how you are trying to manage the eco, and also, you know, allow you to implement new ideas and this sort of thing. And I'm very, very excited for this. So it will change also how you evaluate how good provinces are. But okay. New buildings and production methods, big nice. This is, you see, now you can make vineyards, which is just making this. A lot of this had to be split up. Several new buildings have had select functions split into dedicated buildings, and many production methods have been added and rebalanced. The end result is that it's easier for you to balance your economy without having to use trade to export excess production. This will be particularly nice for Muslim countries which taboo out alcohol, which are just kind of awkward in general. You used to have to just export a ton of it, and it will also be nice because you can focus on just the luxuries if you want here with like stuff like the vineyards. Also, it looks like the vineyards are going to be plantations, not farms, which is perhaps a little bit of a balance update or something to think about. But the fact that you can just go for just the luxury goods independently of this sort of stuff is going to be really useful. And maybe it's the case that like in your super rich places, you want to build up like, I want to build up wine in this province so that like, I don't even know, like, because you're thinking of, it's stacked on top of the fact that local price variation, you know, that you have this, but this is exciting too. New buildings and production methods. I'm super excited to see what all they are. I have to imagine like groceries maybe get split up. We see that you know, wine has gotten split up, so maybe there will be another split up of sugar. You know, like maybe there will be like a fruit. There's already a fruit place though, so I don't know what I'm thinking with that. But like glass and porcelain getting split up would be nice. Explosives and fertilizer getting split up would be nice. You know, although currently them being together creates interesting strategies, but okay, we'll see. And now we're on to some military like updates, which are pretty interesting. Battles that are all but decided will now conclude more rapidly, thank God. You know, it used to just take forever to finish out a battle that's like very clearly going to win a certain way. Through special battle conditions instead of dragging on pointlessly for weeks and weeks. Yep, you got it. Most disciplined generals will be able to organize more controlled, less damaging retreats. And so this adds a sense of realism as well. You're just giving up ground rather than hemorrhaging troops into infinity. And also, you know, if you have an overwhelming advantage, it is much faster to push, I am hoping. Okay. And then we have military formations, which is, this is very vague and abstract. And I think they're intentionally being vague and abstract here because I think that they don't want to overpromise, underdeliver this type of stuff, but this idea of formations, which I'm guessing you can group your generals into groupings and give them a sort of theater or an idea that they can go in. This will be a major revision to how you manage and organize your armed forces, vague, to give you more intuitive control over both before and during active warfare while retaining the option to let wars play out on their own. All of this is vague, but I'm guessing, like, you'll be able to mobilize in groups. You will be able to, like, group your guys, you know, which is fantastic because I've always wanted to group, like, with the, like, late game PMs, you actually, like the machine guns guys you want to use to defend, the, like, infiltrators you want to use for landings, the, like, for pushes, you would want to use like the chem plant guys. So this might allow you to organize different PMs better. But let's continue. As I mentioned at the beginning of the diary, among many of the things that this will revise, how mobilization and conscripts works currently, making both conscription and early demobilization more intuitive and less frustrating. So I'm guessing that this means you can mobilize all in a specific theater, raise all the conscripts and troops in a specific theater and this sort of stuff, or in a specific grouping, and also being able to demobilize conscripts, which you currently can't do. Military formations are currently in very active development, and we expect to see a lot of iteration and polish over the course of the 1.5 open beta. So not kind of end product yet. Much like strategic objectives were not a part of the original 1.2 open beta release, you could expect features relating to formations to be released over several phases. You will learn much more about this in Dev Diaries after summer, the first of which you can expect on August 10th. So no more dev until August 10th. Note that this is by no means an exhaustive list. In addition to these, you can expect a great deal more features and major improvements to be made, both for the initial and subsequent open beta releases. So I'm hoping that this allows you to group guys together and maybe manage PMs a bit better and like raise and demobilize better and this sort of stuff. I'm really hoping that you will be able to assign generals to a specific like theater or sort of thing, and they will just automatically do their own thing with this military formations. But this is unclear to me. But this is the thing, and so yeah, very excited about the local price change as far as managing economics, the local price variation, and very excited about the diplomatic plays and this sort of stuff. But I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and other than that, have a good day and happy playing. Also, maybe wait until 1.3.6 if you haven't started a run, because where is it? Does it say where exactly the bug is in here? We were playing on hotfix 1.3.6. They say it might be live already, but watching the UK just annex parts of the East India Company is very strange and somewhat immersion breaking. So other than that, have a good one.